how you doing? How you feeling? Welcome to a late. It's been a while. I'm just gonna fucking. You know what? I'm not gonna make excuses for myself. Work has been kicking my ass. I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. I've still been doing videos. I've still been streaming here and there. I just felt that after E3 there wasn't enough gaming news for me to, put out a rather meaty search and report episode. So I was like, you know what, I can either just put up a mediocre podcast episode, or I can wait off, because I would just have been regurgitating the same news regarding the Nintendo Switch Pro, the rumors. By now you already know that there's no Nintendo Switch Pro. Sorry to say, but we've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray. But I decided for those rumors to kind of die down, and I kind of expected for Nintendo to make an announcement of a revision, and I was like, you know what, I might as well just chill for now. Wait till the dust settles from after E3, because if you didn't see my videos on E3, I did a summary video on everything that was presented, anything that was noteworthy. I did a video on that, so make sure to watch that video. I think it's pretty good, because I think I did a good job at summarizing everything from this year's rather mediocre E3, and I don't care what you think. I don't care if you thought it was amazing. To me, it was pretty mediocre. Okay, all right. Let's move on. What have I been playing ever since the last episode? Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. I don't remember what I've been playing. Jeez. No, I've been playing obviously the latest releases from Nintendo. I've been playing Super Mario Golf Rush, which is really fun. It's super duper fun. My only complaints with that game, my only couple of complaints with that game, is that yes, it is a rather it's a rather meatless sandwich. I'm using meat as a descriptor for a lot of these things, and I don't know why I'm doing that, but yeah, I might just be hungry even though I just had dinner. But yeah, it's a cool game. It's fun. I'll say that the added modes, the battle mode is very fun. It's very hectic. It's very reminiscent of battle mode from Mario Kart 8. Well, any Mario Kart that you've ever played, it's it's very reminiscent of that, and it's really fun. It gets really hectic, and you lose yourself playing that game. Also, the Golf Speed Rush, that's what Speed Golf. Another great addition to the Mario Golf series. It's really fun. It depends what kind of mode you're playing. That really determines how much you enjoy that mode. For me, I like the time-based one, because the point-based one doesn't really make sense. So obviously the point-based one is based on just how many strokes it takes you to get your ball in the hole. But like at the same time, like, why does it matter then? Why would I rush? Why would I speed through the course to try and get my ball in the hole faster than everybody else if it's all based on strokes, So there's certain things, like in certain modes, that I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Why even offer it? Like, what I'm saying? Like, just make it time-based. Just whoever gets to the hole faster, and combine that with less strokes, I think that would be a way better mode. But it is what it is. It's super fun. I love just how it's just, that game has a lot of characters, specifically the characters. Sorry for my redundancy. But it's really fun trying out all the different characters and all their special abilities, their special shots. It's a rather fun party game. But my issues with that game, like I said, it's meatless. There's not a lot in terms of content. I mean, there is, but for it to be the next iteration from a mainline, Mario Sports game, it felt very lacking. Like it brought me so much PTSD from Mario Tennis Aces and you know, playing that game. Like the courses, there's only like 5 or 6 courses if I'm not mistaken, right off the top of my head. Once you unlock them all, that's it. Like that's all you unlock, you know, like, oh, okay, more courses. And to be honest, like it is a good mixture of traditional normal looking courses, you know, literally just a golf course. You'll literally just be playing on a golf course here and there, but they do a good job of adding little Mario tidbits or little Mario elements here and there to the courses. For example, there's a course where those piranhas that you encounter in Super Mario 3D World that, you know, kind of like extend and like bend in different angles. You can jump on the ones that you can jump on, and they'll, you know, go back into the pipe. You have those in this game. They serve as obstacles. You also have the sand enemies. You have some clouds that really spice up things in the course. They're basically just environmental hazards. So there's little things here and there that are really, really fun. I checked out the online for a little bit. It was pretty okay. It was pretty fun playing with other people, but I think it died down so quickly. It died, I mean, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the biggest fault of Super Mario Golf Rush, that there's just not enough content in the game to, you know, really nurture a thriving multiplayer base. Like, literally, it's ever since I played that first night that I got the game, I've been trying to play online for like the past week, and like it's impossible to find a room. It's impossible to find a room. Nobody's playing anymore, and it's like it really bummed me out. It really bummed me out because I was looking forward to Mario Golf so much, man. Mario sports games are my favorite type of sports games, like my favorite arcadey sports games. That and like Tony Hawk. Like the Tony Hawk series is one of my favorite extreme sports or arcade sports games series ever. So it was rather disappointing. It was very, very rather disappointing. I'm playing through the adventure mode here and there. You know, I pick it up and I play for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes or so, but it's just it's the same thing as with Mario Tennis Aces, man. It's just very generic. It has no character as far as the adventures, like the story goes. It's just it just doesn't captivate me, man. It doesn't captivate me. And this is an issue with Nintendo. I did a video on Nintendo's problems that I think it's a pretty cultural problem inside the company that is Nintendo, and which is the bare minimum effort and culture that exists currently in Nintendo. I'm not saying they don't put out great games. I'm not saying they don't put out polished games. I'm not saying they don't put out finished games. But all these games feel like the bare minimum. Like they're missing the mark. They're starting to miss the mark on so many releases, man. And I don't know what needs to change. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened from like, sheesh, man. Like, I don't know. I felt like it's been, you know, before, little before the Nintendo Switch release. It all feels, I mean, even after, because like, to me, in my opinion, like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, some of the first party titles for the Switch are still great timeless titles. But at the same time, like, now we're running into like half-ass games, like, and games that are released on the promise of like future content coming out. Like, I'm not saying they're unfinished, because they're not. They are finished games. They were released. They were shipped out. But like, I don't know. This is just a personal opinion. There's no right or wrong. But to me, the promise of future updates to a game just doesn't entice me as much. It doesn't entice me as much anymore, because, you know, if 5-6 months down the line, unless it's a game that I really, really like and I really adore, I'm not going to come back to it. I'm not going to come back to it. This is happening with Age of Calamity. Age of Calamity has been getting DLC updates to it for the past month or so. I have not played any single DLC expansion. Not at all. And I love that game. But This is a personal issue with me, but like I lose interest fast. I lose interest fast. If it doesn't captivate me as soon as it released, it's gonna be very hard for me to come back to it. But yeah, I mean, that's my review impressions for Super Mario Golf Rush. It's a great game, but it's definitely a game you want to get when it's discounted. Definitely get that game when it's discounted, or if you have like a party coming up and you have people coming around where like they enjoy playing video games, you definitely get it. Get drunk with people, play golf, play Mario Golf with the motion controls, because I'm pretty surprised. They work pretty okay. They work pretty fine. They are really fun to play with motion controls. But yeah, I think those are the only two scenarios I would say get Super Mario Golf Rush. Other than that, unless you're a super huge Mario Sports fan, go ahead and get it. But if it's not on sale and you don't have a big party coming up, don't get this game. Or if you don't play enough party games, like, do not get this game. I'm sorry. I'm just upset. I'm a little upset about that game, but it is what it is. I have it now. I can't do anything about it. At least I got it like a discount. But yeah. What else have I been playing? I've been playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. This is a game that I've been wanting to play ever since it came out for the Switch, ever since it was ported to the Switch. It's really fun, great 2D platformer. Been playing Smash. Obviously, we got Kazuya now, announced at E3. Super fun. He's a fun character. I just wish I was better at him. All these combos, man. Y'all, I keep seeing people on Twitter posting their combos. I see on YouTube posting combos with Kazuya, saying that he's OP. Bro, I get so upset at those videos, but I get upset because I just don't have. I wish I had more time to be fucking training my combos. And it's like, it's no shade to people who put these videos, because they're amazing. They're skillful ass videos. I'm just upset that I don't have time. I don't have enough time to play these games. Goddamn, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I've surprisingly been back to playing Monster Hunter Rise, and I went back to Monster Hunter Rise because of Monster Hunter Stories 2, the Monster Hunter Stories 2 demo. The Monster Hunter Stories 2 game came out July 9th, so I think it's last Friday. I played the demo. I played like 2 hours worth of it. It's fun. It's a fun little game. It's a turn-based RPG. It's basically Pokemon, but like with a little more RNG, so to speak. The premise of the game is, as any other Monster Hunter game out there, like monsters are going out of control. They're threatening your way of life, and you gotta like put a stop to them or control them somewhat. And then you basically just go and battle them and either capture them or kill them. Like, it's pretty fucked up if you think about it. They're just animals. They're just living. But this turnaround, this Monster Hunter Stories is a turn-based RPG game. There are some elements of capturing and hatching. No, I don't think capturing. I actually don't know. I don't know if you can capture monsties. That's what they call it, by the way. I should definitely. I need to play that demo a little bit more. But I do know that you hatch eggs, and those eggs become kind of like part of your team. And the way it works is basically the same as Pokemon. You capture these monsters, you raise them, you level them up, and you battle with them. The battle, though, is a little different than traditional turn-based games. They're basically your companions, your monstie, and whoever other NPC player is on your team. And their monstie, so it's usually like four people, 4 elements to your team. It's all randomized. The only control you have over these fights is you choosing your attacks, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's all there is to it. You just choose these attacks, and obviously there's certain attacks that have like they have whatchamacallit. Let me put up just something so I can have on the screen, because I feel I've been talking too much and there's nothing on the screen. Like, I'm not that interesting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's basically the same as Pokemon. You know, certain attacks are more effective for against certain enemies. It's all, you know, it's basically just a circle. In essence, there's only 3 kinds of attacks. And you know, there's physical. I think there's physical. There's strength, speed. I don't remember quite well, but yeah, basically one defeats the other and so on. But the only kind of control that you have over these attacks is if you choose, like, it'll tell you on the screen what your Monstie is going to attack, like what kind of attack it's going to use. So you can tell that if they're going to use like a power attack, a powerful attack, or a speed attack, and if you choose that one, you'll do like a combined attack and, you know, deal more damage. But like, that's basically it. You don't get to choose what your companions are, what kind of attacks they're using. You don't get to choose what your Monstie is going to be using for attacks. So it is a little bit limited. I don't know if I like that. I can see why they did that, because it might just end up being a little bit tedious having to choose for everybody's single attacks. But besides that, like, there's some world exploring. Yeah, it's basically Pokemon. it's Pokemon, but with better animations, more fast-paced battles. And that's it. And it does draw some elements, or at least some tendencies that you see in Monster Hunter games. For example, you can attack certain parts of the monster. For example, you can choose to attack the monster's head, the monster's tail, the monster's legs, yada yada. And from that, you get items that you can use to upgrade your weapons or craft new weapons. So, in essence, if you have played a Monster Hunter game, if you play Monster Hunter game before, you'll pick up this game pretty easily, because there's a lot of overlapping elements from the Monster Hunter games to this. So yeah, it's a pretty looking game on the Switch. I mean, it does have its limitations, and it does drop frames here and there. I'm not gonna deny it. We needed a Switch Pro for these types of situations, these types of games, because this game, I think, is also coming I think it came out for the PC. So obviously the game I think it was made with the PC in mind. So, you know, it has certain limitations, but yeah, if you're into the monster catching type of game like Pokemon, you'll probably enjoy this game. You'll probably enjoy it. I'm not too sure about the story. It seems basic enough, like any other, I don't know, any other RPG type of story. But yeah, it looks like it's a great game so far. From what I played, I really enjoyed it. It's very charming. The characters are so especially your companions, they're very, very funny, and they're very, very cute. But again, it is a Japanese RPG, and that comes with its own issues. I'm not even gonna get into them, because I'm not trying to get canceled and really speak my mind on the episode for Search and Report that I finally come back. So I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. So let me shut up and go into our first news item of the week. We got a Switch Pro, y'all. Let's celebrate Switch Pro. Woo! Love it. I love it. DLSS. Give me that 4K. Give me that stable FPS. Psych. You really thought, bro? You really fucking thought, huh? Oh. I'll never forget the day I woke up. I'll never forget the day I woke up that this Nintendo Switch OLED got announced. I was hurting, man. I was hurting. It was after the July 4th weekend. I drank too much. I'm sorry, y'all, but I had to party. I've been stressed out of my mind, so I was like, I need to party. Let me grill. I grilled some carne asada. I had some quesadillas. I had some cebollitas. I invited some friends over. It was fun as fuck. My house got flooded for some fucking odd reason. So it was really stressful, and then it's still the stress of work, and I was like, fuck, man. So when I woke up and I saw this notification on my phone that Nintendo had uploaded a video, and it literally said Nintendo Switch OLED announced, my mind started connecting the dots. It was like, yo, OLED, remember Bloomberg, the Bloomberg report, what did it say? It said OLED. Does that mean that it's also 4K? Psych, psych, bro. You fucking thought, but we did get finally an announcement on the Switch revision, which is essentially just an OLED revision. The Switch OLED model, sorry. I got the hiccups. Nintendo announced the Switch OLED model last week as of this recording. And it looks like the regular Switch. It looks like the base model Switch. The only upgrades that are confirmed for this thing are the obviously the slightly larger screen, which is now OLED, by the way. So in essence, the OLED technology will make. By the way, the trailer is really funny. Like, half of these people are just playing trailers on their Switch. They're not actually playing games. Like, it's pretty funny. But yeah, the OLED makes basically the screen look a lot more, you know, the contrast, it makes the colors pop a lot more because it is single LEDs like being lit up here and there. So and also the blacks are more truer to black, so you get you know, just more true to reality colors. Also, this new Switch also has enhanced audio, which we'll get into the specs a little bit more into detail here. It also comes with a wider kickstand, which I guess is cool. I don't know of people who play tabletop that often for this to be like a worthy upgrade, which, by the way, this damn thing is $350. It looks nice. It looks beautiful. The dock looks really good. I like the white, but $50 for what is essentially the same Switch. I'll get into my rant later on. Another upgrade to the Switch is also a dedicated LAN port, which we finally get, which is a thing that's been part of video game consoles for decades. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I think this is the first time that a Nintendo console has had a dedicated LAN port. And if that doesn't tell you what kind of company Nintendo is, I don't know what else will, man. But yeah, those are essentially the only upgrades, like the only like meaningful upgrades. I mean, obviously the base model, this new base model now has more storage, more memory for storage, which I guess is cool. Now it's 64 gigabytes. And besides that, but it's basically the same damn device. It's basically the same damn device. And I don't know how to feel about it. Actually, I do. I did a whole video on it. But like, it's literally the same thing, just with a better stand and a slightly bigger screen. Like, literally less than an inch bigger. It's incredible to me just how much Nintendo can get away with, and people just eat this up. People just say, "Oh, that's cool, just a little neat upgrade," and people still defend like these sort of practices from Nintendo. But it is essentially the same Switch. It is essentially it is essentially the same Switch, man. Here Nintendo Life did a little really useful comparison between the Switch OLED model, the standard Switch, and the Switch Lite, which is a full tech specs comparison. I'll link it down below in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Listen, man, let's go through it. Okay, here's the definitive upgrade list. So size for the standard Switch, the one that we've been playing since 2017, is 4 inches high, 9.4 inches long, and 0.55 inches deep with Joy-Cons attached. This new OLED Switch is 4 inches high, 9.5 inches long, which is 0.1 inch long. I don't know from where, like what. I guess it has to be 0.1 inch long, because I guess that changed the body, you know, the screen changed the body, but I don't know. The weight is approximately, for the base model, well, in comparison to the base model, this Nintendo Switch is 0.5 pounds heavier than the standard Switch. This is the big, this is what the thing that annoyed me the most. This and another thing, but this is the top two. One of the top two things that annoyed me the most is the screen. If you're gonna upgrade your screen by completely changing the technology behind it, making it an OLED screen, at least make it a bigger screen than 720p. I know that 720p is more than enough for a handheld screen. I know 1080p might just make everything look terrible, but bro, you're upgrading the screen. The screen is only used when it's in handheld mode. You know what this is gonna do to your games? It's gonna make everything look way more crisp. The colors are they're gonna pop. They're gonna make everything look great. But also the size is bigger. The size is a 7-inch in comparison to the 6.2-inch LCD screen we used to get. That means you're gonna have to blow up your image 0.8 inches larger, but the resolution is still 720p. That's gonna make the games look way worse than they already do. I mean, they don't look bad. I'll say, like playing Breath of the Wild on a handheld mode, it looks fine. It looks okay, but you're gonna see a lot more issues with the image, and I just don't understand why Nintendo would go through all this effort of changing the screen, but not upgrading the resolution, and like, I don't know, not doing something about their blown up image. Like, I don't know, man. I don't understand this thing. I don't understand this decision. I have this theory that, you know, the chip shortage basically forced Nintendo to release this Nintendo Switch OLED because they can't upgrade the specs as much because there's a chip shortage. And they were like, you know what, we bought so much material, so much stuff for the new Nintendo Switch revision. Just put it out there. Just put it out there, man. Just slap the new screen on it and like keep everything the same, because we gotta get rid of this OLED screen. But at the same time, like, I don't know, because in my opinion, I don't think Nintendo would go through this whole ordeal of marketing a new model, a revision of sorts, for their biggest selling console. That, like, they're on top of the game. Like, I don't think they would go through all this effort just to say that the only upgrade they did was the OLED screen. But at the same time, this is the same company that did 3DS, 2DS, 2DS XL, new 3DS, new 3DS XL, and just added little upgrades here and there. Like I said, go and watch my video that I did on the bare minimum effort problem that Nintendo has. I go into detail into what I think Nintendo's trying to do here. I don't understand it. At the same time, I think Nintendo just said, like, hey, we got these OLED screens, let's just slap them into the same body and like charge $50 more for it, and we'll make a profit since they're selling like hotcakes. But going forward, this is the biggest fault, I think, on this new model. The CPU and the GPU, they are essentially the same thing. They're essentially the same thing from the base Nintendo, the standard Nintendo Switch. What I got right here in the back is going to be the same thing that's going to be coming out. It's going to be the same power, same battery life, like same RAM. It just doesn't make sense, bro. They're both using the NVIDIA custom Tegra processor. Now, it does say NVIDIA custom Tegra processor. I don't like that's as much detail they go into. I don't know. I don't think, because I don't think the chipset is that different. I don't think they would go through all of this and announce all of this without saying like, hey, you know, we got performance upgrades, because that's a big sell. So I don't know, man. We did get 64 gigabytes more of storage, which I guess is cool and all. I guess even the Wi-Fi is the same, bro. The video output on TV mode, 1080p. it's still 1080p. Still 1080p and 720p on handheld mode. I don't get it, man. I do not get it, man. And now they did a whole, like, not a whole, but they didn't say in the announcement video that they had enhanced audio. I don't see enhanced audio specs in comparison to the base model. It's the same output. It's a linear PCM output. It's the speakers are stereo, of course. Like, I don't know what else you would include in that. The headphone jack is the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. The only changes is a 64 gigabyte storage, and the screen. But that's it. That is pretty much it. Like, this is an upgrade for people who play mostly on handheld. If you already have a Switch and you play in dock mode, this is the revision you want to skip. There's nothing to it. There's absolutely nothing to it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. You're going to be wasting your money. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, the white looks pretty cool. The dock looks pretty cool, but it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing, and I don't understand it. I don't understand Nintendo, man. I don't know why they would go through this effort of marketing and producing this revision only to charge $50 more, I guess. Like, I mean, that is a lot of profit. And I don't think like these upgrades cost as much to produce, you know, to add to the Nintendo Switch. So they're definitely turning a profit. And like, I think I just answered my own damn question. That's all they're doing, man. That's all. They just want to make more money. That's it, I guess. But yeah, they're the same. If you're doubting whether you want to get this new revision, I would say just skip it. If you already have the base Nintendo Switch, the standard model, just skip it. Unless you play handheld. Unless you play strictly handheld and you don't have a Nintendo Switch Lite, sure, go ahead and get it. Because at that point, I think you don't even have a Switch. So yes, this is the perfect kind of Switch to get if you don't have a Switch already, is what I'm trying to say. But with everything that gets announced nowadays, they're scalping as well. They're scalping as well. Over in the UK, I believe there's already pre-orders going out for this thing, the Nintendo Switch OLED. And here Nintendo Live reports, earlier this week saw the announcement of a brand new Switch, the Switch OLED model, with pre-orders starting to appear at a number of retailers. Some folk have decided to gobble up in order to sell for a profit. A quick search on eBay reveals several listings to promise to pass on a pre-order once it's been sent out to the seller this October. Some are hoping for a relatively small gain, like this one that's trying to sell $399.99 to sell the £309.99 machine for $350 plus postage. But some are, well, okay. Our favorite scalper, that was a weird sentence. Our favorite scalper listing so far is this wonderfully opportunistic, bro, I can't fucking talk. Opportunistic effort from a seller in Wigan, UK. The listing shows what is supposedly confirmed $309 from UK retailer Game, and ask any potential buyer to hand over the low sum of £800 to make it their own. What makes it even worse is that you have to travel to Wigan to collect it from the seller and post it in person. Listen, man. Listen, if you're already gonna get scammed by Nintendo by buying what is essentially the same console with just a few upgrades here and there for $50 more, don't buy it from scalpers, is all I'm gonna say. You're already getting scammed once, you don't want to get scammed twice. You know what I'm saying? But yes, that is the biggest news since E3, I think. You got an OLED model. I guess it's cool. I guess it's fun. If you don't have a Switch already, go ahead and get it. But I think it's just a lot of wasted potential, a lot of wasted resources. And I do think that Nintendo was hoping to make this OLED revision the Pro model, the 4K version, but with chipsets, you know, with chips, you know, being in there being a shortage of chips, I think they were like, we just got to release this and like make room for like what's next to come. But hey, it is what it is, you know. With Nintendo, what can you expect? Moving forward to our second news item of the week, we got the retro game market is out of control. This one was pretty outrageous, pretty outrageous. As you know, I mean, scalping somewhat has played into this because, you know, it raises the limited availability to a lot of things, and with like gaming becoming a very sought after hobby and like one of the most popular and one of the most profitable mediums out there, like it's bound for these types of things to happen. But a sealed copy of Super Mario 64 just sold at an auction for $1.5 million. Apparently this was a super high quality sealed copy of the N64 game, but like, yo, 1.5 million for Super Mario 64? Bro, you can get that at the bin, at like the bargain bin at any single video game store out there, like locally owned video game store. Here Kotaku reports, today a highly rated and completely sealed copy of the Nintendo 64 classic Super Mario 64 sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1,560,000. $1,560,000. I can't speak today, man. This beats the previous record for a single video game auction, which was held by an ultra-rare copy of The Legend of Zelda and was just set a few days ago. That rare game sold for an impressive sell price of $870,000 on July 9th. Auctioned off through a popular auction house, Heritage Auctions, this copy of Super Mario 64 was giving a 9.8 rating on the WATA scale. As a result of this high rating, Heritage Auctions says it is just one of fewer than 5 known sealed copies in such incredible condition. The auction started on July 9th and ended today on July 11th. Even before the auction had started, this copy of Mario 64 was making headlines with its $100K starting price. This is not something new. This is something that's been happening for a while. For example, before that, the record was held by an NES copy of Super Mario Bros. That sold for $660,000 in April of this year. I remember that one. It's pretty insane to be seeing these kinds of things, like to be seeing what your childhood is basically selling for right now. Like, I don't understand it. And like a lot of people are speculating that Heritage Auctions is essentially running a money laundering business, money laundering operation. I'm not entirely sure if they're speculating that, you know, I mean, obviously this is all speculation, of course. So there's none of this is founded on any hard evidence. But this is a little fishy, man. It is a little fishy. Even if it's a super like high quality, well preserved copy of Super Mario 64, I don't think this game would even have to be selling over like $750, and I'm being generous at that point. So there's something fishy going on here. I think there's something very fishy going on here. And by the way, this isn't the only one that's been selling. Okay, this isn't the only one that's been selling. As I said already, there was a sealed copy of The Legend of Zelda that nearly sold for $1 million. This is the other story. A sealed copy of here The Verge reports a sealed copy of The Legend of Zelda for the NES just sold for $870,000 at Heritage Auctions, again breaking the previous record for the most expensive game ever sold. But I included this article because here's an actual response from Heritage Auction. They say, well, it is a hard truth. It is a truth nonetheless. None of the copies we've offered of this title previously could even attempt to hold a candle to this one due to its incredibly rare variant that holds early production status. This matter is completely inarguable. This is the only copy from one of the earliest production runs that we've ever had the opportunity to offer, and possibly will have the opportunity to offer for many years to come. Considering this variant was only produced for a few months in late 1987 before it was ultimately replaced by the Rev A variant in early 1988, This statement likely comes as no surprise to collectors. Only one other variant precedes the offered NES-R variant, and that is the NES TM variant, which is the true first production run. However, it is also widely believed that only a single sealed NES TM example exists, and there is no telling whether or not that copy will ever come to market. Essentially, this copy is the earliest sealed copy one could realistically hope to obtain. Jesus Christ, man. Now, I don't know how to feel about this. Let me take a sip of this juice. Because it is juice. It's grown-up juice. Grown-up grape juice. Good for the heart. Essentially, this raises the question, like, what inherent value is there going to be in video games going forward, you know? Like, is it going to become the same issue with like art pieces, like, for example, or like even sought after like merchandise, for example, Supreme. If you know anything about Supreme, you know about skateboarding, if you know anything about hip hop, if you know anything about that, I don't even know if Supreme is part of hip hop. No, that's more Bape. But the items from, for example, Supreme, they sell extremely fast. There's limited availability to these products. Like I don't think Nintendo is gonna turn out to be Supreme and like only print out like 1,000 copies of the next Mario game. I mean, they kind of already are doing the limited runs with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which, by the way, I keep seeing at my local Walmart for like $50. So I don't know if I should go ahead and buy another copy that I already have the game, but I should just buy it and like keep it sealed, or like I don't know. Like, is the video game market now going to turn into what is essentially now the art market? You know, the art dealing market. Like, I don't know. This is all very weird to me. It's I don't think there's any other explanation besides like these motherfuckers are doing something shady, man. Because there's no reason for anyone to pay $1.5 million for a sealed copy of Super Mario 64. Doesn't matter how rare it is. Like, Jesus Christ, man. $1.5 million is a lot of money. I don't think people put it into perspective just how much money that is. That is essentially, I mean, that's a mansion. That's a mansion in any mid to large, not large, because if you go to LA, 1.5 million is not going to get you shit. But like a small to mid-sized town in the US, like, that's a big ass home. Anyway, there it is, man. If this is gonna be the move going forward, I might just go and like start ordering old games from eBay and like keeping them sealed for long. I don't know. Got a lot of N64 games behind me. I just fucking sell them for profit. I don't know. But yeah, that is what it is. If you're looking for some old ass games, go to Heritage Auctions. Or if you want to do some shady shit, I'm not about to slander this company, you know, because this is all my speculation. So relax. But that is weird. That is pretty weird. On to our next news item, our third news item of the week. This is something that I am really excited for. I'm pretty big. I'm a big Zelda fan, but I'm not a big fan of all Zelda games, if that makes any sense. But Skyward Sword HD is releasing this week. It's releasing on this Friday, actually. Today's Monday. And Nintendo has been, you know, going really, really ham on the advertising, on the promotion for this game. They've been essentially promoting that it's not the same game that it was. They basically said like, yo, we heard you. We know you hated the original game, so we changed a bunch of shit to it. We don't want you to think that it's the same game. But here, VideoGamesChronicle.com reports Zelda Skyward Sword. Why did I say sword twice? Zelda Skyward Sword HD footage shows a free moving camera has been added. As we know, the original Wii version didn't have free moving camera. It was all It was all basically just Z targeting. But Nintendo of America tweeted out this little video. Oh, hold on. I did not link. Open up Sesame. Here we go. Oops, don't want to listen to that. Well, it's very like, this was pretty funny. Nintendo Live did a video on this. It's a very not on the nose quality of life improvement announcement, but it is pretty it's pretty funny the way they announced it. Here they're announcing that there's skippable, like there's optional dialogue, especially for tutorials. As you know, in the original version, every time you turned around and you climbed out these little two boxes or pillars, Horwell would literally stop you and yell like, "Hey, that was cool, blah blah." So now there's the option for you to skip this dialogue and like skip a lot of tutorial stuff. But here, a lot of people saw that the camera is moving freely. Like the person playing is moving the camera. And that is a huge quality of life improvement. And I don't know why Nintendo didn't announce it, or if they did, I missed it. But that's a huge quality of life improvement. Like, seriously, just being able to move the camera in any Zelda game is paramount, is essential, man. And I remember the Switch. I remember the Wii version. I don't remember the camera. I don't remember the camera being a huge issue, but I do remember it being annoying. I do remember that being annoying. So that's pretty cool. Also, there was a bunch of stuff announced in a bunch of different quality of life trailers from Nintendo on Skyward Sword. Here I'll go down a list for them. We get, as I already said, optional help, but specifically optional help from Fi. Fi only appears in cutscenes or when necessary, and can otherwise be summoned manually to provide advice or guidance. There's enhanced frame rate, of course, is going to run at 60 frames per second. You can fast forward dialogue. Text shown on screen can be fast forwarded by pressing the B button. Streamlined item information. Explanations for collectible items such as insects and materials only appear the first time the item is collected. This is a huge one. If you played any Zelda game from like the GameCube and the Wii era, every time you booted up the game, it would remind you what a rupee was. It would remind you what a fucking Deku seed was. It would remind you what an arrow was. Like it was annoying. So this is a welcome quality of life improvement. You get skippable cutscenes. You get auto save, and you also get the skippable tutorial dialogues, which you already kind of talked about. Also here, Video Games Chronicle further reports. This was a big one, and I'm glad that it's it's been kind of like mentioned more often. It says that one of the game's most requested new features, which allows players to travel between the surface world and the sky at any point rather than by having to visit certain locations, is locked behind a new Zelda and Lawfang amiibo, which will be released alongside the title. You can still do that. You can still go to the sky easily. If you remember from the original game, that was something you can easily do by going to one of the many bird statues. Bird up. But yeah, I think these are welcome quality of life improvements. I would have loved for them to keep the price, pretty consistent with the price of the original game. You know what I'm saying? Because the original game was not $60. I don't know if you guys remember that. But it is what it is. It's Nintendo. They get to choose. They say people are going to pay $60 for this. Let's put it for $60. I am getting this game. I'm currently playing Ocarina of Time as my way to celebrate the Zelda week. Currently on Twitch, so make sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/TrueFernie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to go a little bit more into these other announcements. There's an announcement for Sonic Colors Ultimate for the Switch. I guess I can go into it. It's just more of like a little what you call it? Bruh, I forget the name. It's an observation. Observation. No, not Sonic Unleashed. Why did I just look Sonic Unleashed? Sonic Colors. So today they Nintendo and Sega uploaded, well, you know, separately they uploaded trailers for the Sonic Colors Ultimate. But funnily enough, of course, as it is always Nintendo, they basically updated the trailer to remove the 60 FPS perk from the original trailer. So oh, it was so funny that I almost choked. This is why we need a Switch Pro, man. Like this kind of shit. Like it's just annoying, man. Of course the game's gonna be playable, but it's just annoying, man. It's annoying that we're in 2021 and we can't get stable frame rates, and we're still getting like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like the Switch is running on such antiquated and outdated hardware that it's funny, man. It's ridiculous. It's super funny to me. It's very, very funny to me. But here, Nintendo Life reports Sonic Colors Ultimate Switch trailer removes 60 FPS perk of original video. Here, Nintendo Live reports Nintendo has now uploaded its own version of the trailer for Sega's Sonic Colors Ultimate, albeit one that appears to use the same footage as the multi-platform Sega upload. However, one change did catch our eye. The HD visual improvements pitch at the start just says revamped lighting and improved graphics, deliberately removing a reference to 60 FPS from the original Sega version and 4K resolution, but that was a given. All right, okay, Nintendo Life. Why are you shitting on what is essentially half your name? You can see them both below, the original and then the Nintendo upload. It's pretty funny, bro. It's pretty ridiculous that Nintendo is going to this length. Like Nintendo must know that we're not stupid. I mean, it's a given that we're paying $50 more for what is essentially the same Switch, but. Like, this is just ridiculous, man. This just makes your company look bad. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's pretty ridiculous, and I just want the Switch Pro, man. But I'm gonna stop talking about it because I promised myself. Well, I said that I was pretty happy that now that the Switch OLED version is announced, the Switch Pro rumors are gonna die. But we know that's not true. We know that's not gonna happen. It's gonna keep on happening. But goddamn, man, goddamn, same chip, same CPU, same GPU, same RAM, 4 gigabytes of memory on a console, bro, on an HD console, 4 gigabytes, man. Jesus Christ, it is what it is. But folks, that is it for Search and Report. Yeah, I'm sorry that I took a little break. I just thought that I would give the news some room to brew, which they certainly did with the Nintendo Switch OLED version. But yeah, folks, if you enjoy this video, if you like this video, please go ahead and first of all, if you're listening to this on the audio version, I'm sure you're listening on Spotify. Just search for Search and Report. You'll be able to, you'll find us. We're the essentially the only gaming podcast with a Game Boy for a logo that's called Search and Report, so you'll find us. But alternatively, you can also watch and listen to the video version of this podcast on YouTube, on my YouTube channels. Just search for youtube.com/TrueFernie and you'll see me, you'll find me. I upload weekly videos, not just the podcast, but I also do scripted videos on anything and everything gaming. I do have a focus on Nintendo because I love Nintendo, as you can tell from my background. Kinda, it's pretty dark, but whatever. But yeah, make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I try to stream pretty regularly, and where your support is greatly appreciated. Currently, as I said, I'm playing the Ocarina of Time N64 version to celebrate the release of Skyward Sword. Hopefully I finish it before Friday. I'm already on the Spirit Temple, so I'm sure I will finish it. And also, please make sure to join our Discord, where we have a little community and where we talk anything and everything gaming, anime, movies, memes, whatever that you might, as my viewer, might enjoy. And please make sure to follow me on Twitter, which is basically where I spend half of my waking hours, and honestly where I respond the fastest. So thank you everybody for your support. Some of my videos in the past 2 or 3 weeks have been doing pretty well. I'm surprised by the organic reach my videos have been making, even though people are cussing me out because they're calling me a Metroid noob, even though I'm super excited for that Metroid game. I know it was a dumb joke. I know this isn't the continuation of, this isn't the aftermath of Metroid Prime 4. Like, duh, 2 different games. Like, bro, believe me, it's just a joke. Relax. But yeah, without further ado, I've been True Fernie. Please take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.